I hope that you and the family are very well at this moment in time, enjoying this beautiful weather. My name is Carla. I'm here to deliver a Pilates session for you. So if you've been to my sessions before, then you'll know what to expect. We'll do a bit of everything. If not, don't worry, just take it at your own pace. If there's any injuries or issues that you need to be mindful of, then take that into account. Don't do any moves that you're not supposed to, or just anything that doesn't feel good, doesn't feel right for you, okay? Listen to your body. Change whatever you need to change, just do what feels good. We'll be standing for our warm-up. There's a little bit of balance work, so you might want to grab onto a wall at some points, but generally speaking, just gonna get everything moving and loose. So just starting to rock through our feet, so shifting our weight back into the heels and front into the toes. Testing our balance just a little and massaging through the feet. And then rise up, hold it there if we can, lengthen, bring the heels out, followed by the toes, so we're roughly hip width apart here. Soften the knees and come into your pelvic tilts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, inhale, push the bottom away. So just easing into things. There might be tightness in the lower back there. We might not have been as mobile as we normally are these past couple of months or so, so gently goes. And find your neutral pelvis, so somewhere in the middle, hip bones just pointing forward, lift up, lengthen through the spine, pull the shoulder blades back and down, open up the chest, and tuck the chin slightly, so be careful that we're not pushing, falling into that forward head posture. Take a deep inhale, expand out into the ribs, into the back, exhale, and just some contraction here, so feeling the core muscles tighten and work for you. Inhale, expand out, and exhale, drawing in. Imagine we're tightening a corset around us. Once more, breath in. Exhale, tighten everything up, and then relax. Just keep a little bit of that tension there. Okay, let's just start to mobilise everything now. So rest the fingertips onto the shoulders and make big circles here with the elbows, trying to bring them together, up and over. Here's where we might have some crunchiness happening, some clicks and some pops through the shoulders, upper back, the chest, that's okay. And taking it the other way now, so change direction. And reaching the arms up, loosely hold the right wrist, pull up and over, lengthen the waist. Feet are still planted firmly into the ground, and center, switch over the other way. And lift, pull the arms in front of you, shoulders are still down. Breath in, reach the right arm back, watch as it goes. Exhale, coming in front and change. So open and change. Trying to keep the legs just relaxed here, so we're not taking our hip back with us. We're not twisting, we're keeping forward facing. That twist is coming all the way through the spine here, opening up the chest. And we'll go for one more. Let's take the legs a little bit wider now. Relax the arms down, deep breath, and just melt the body over to your right. Exhale, soften the knees, let the arms, the head be heavy. Coming back up the other way, and stand tall, once in the other direction. Breath in, exhale, down we go. And coming up, good. Just thinking about ankles and feet now. So push toes into the ground as we lift the heels. Just watch that we're not pushing into the little toe, so the ankle isn't going outwards. And let's make this move a little bit bigger. Start to actually lift the feet up and push the floor away. So still working through the feet to get those knees lifted. Pelvis still just nice and level here. Standing tall. So starting to get the heart rate up a little bit here as well. If you want to have hands on waist or wherever they feel good, that's fine. And here's our balance challenge. So right knee lifted now. Try and hold it there if we can. If you need to hold onto a wall or a chair, that's absolutely fine. Watch that we've not shifted our hips up and down here. So try to stay level, stand up tall. If this feels super easy, you can close your eyes if you want a bigger challenge. Or if it's very wobbly, you can always pop that big toe down if you need to. Still holding here. If we can, we're just going to open the leg a little, get some movement in at the hip. So turning out, coming back to center. Good. So challenging this standing leg as well. Don't worry if there's a few wobbles, that's your muscles working for you. And let's switch it over the leg and lift. So again, nice and even, standing tall, relax upper body. Again, if it's super easy, challenge yourself, eyes closed. If we're very wobbly, hold on if you need to. Usually one side is easier to balance on than the other, so let's find which is our wobbly leg today. And we open and come back to center. Just a couple more. Good, and bring it down, back to hip width apart, working a bit harder now through the legs, so firing up quads, glutes as well. Think about the bottom doing the work here as we squat down. So weights in your heels, the knees are not going beyond the big toes, they're staying in line with the hips, and we're pushing ourselves back as if we're sitting into a chair. Chest still lifted, back long. Let's add the arms. Press back. We can also add a lift if you want to. So again, a bit of balance, strengthening, working ankles, calves. Push back. Opening up the chest, working the arms, pressing the palms back. We'll go last two. And hold the next one here if you can. For 3, 2, 1. Come down, shake it off if you need to, turning out from the very tops of the legs. Legs wider, spread the toes, making sure the bottom doesn't start to stick out. Zipping up. This time we're bending in this position, but we're not pushing the bottom away. We're not tipping the body forwards. We're staying lifted. Shoulders pull back and down. So keeping that turn out through the legs, so knees just tracking towards that second and third toe. Let's add some arms now. Reach up, pull the elbows into the waist. As you bend, just imagine those shoulder blades gliding down into the back, coming together. And then lengthen, reach up and away. So again, heart rate up just a little here because we're working all the arms, the legs, big muscle groups. And we'll go one more, hold it down there if it's comfortable to do so. If you need to straighten the legs at any point, that's fine. Fully extend the arms and just working through the wrists, so fingers down, flat palms, pull them back. And again, fingers down, check we're not sticking the bottom out, and back. Small circles, very small. Arms lengthened, so roughly shoulder height, and just very small movements. Check the body isn't pushing back and forth. 3, 2, 1, reverse direction. Let's see if we can get a little lower. And 3, 2, 1, breath in. Exhale, just rest the hands onto the waist. Again, let's just think about those ankles, those feet. So lifting one heel at a time, but without bobbing the head up and down, so stay level. If we want to further challenge, we can lift them both up at the same time. Again, if this doesn't feel good, stick to your singles. We're just going to go 2 more. Stronger ankles, check we're not pushing them out and away. And take a breath. Oh, let's go for another. And lift, good. Give the legs a little shake off there if we need to, if the quads are feeling it. And just come back to hip width. Loosen everything up. We should be feeling warmer now. So let's just give the neck a stretch here, side to side. Nothing too forceful. And turn to look to your right. And over to the left. And looking up to the ceiling or the sky. And this time we'll come into a roll down, breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Work through the spine, let the arms, the head be heavy. Hold it here, loosely hold the elbows. And just like a ragdoll, let the body sway side to side. And release the arms, breath in. Exhale, scoop the abdomen in. Coming back to standing, let's take a shoulder roll as we get there. Tuck the chin back. Hopefully feeling a bit warmer now, ready to crack on with our workout. So grab a sip of water if you need it, and we'll come down onto the mat. Okay, so just come into your mat. You're standing with the mat in front of you, hip width apart. And again, just a quick check-in with posture. So standing tall, we're coming for a roll down. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest, and working through the spine. So up and over, still scooping through the abdomen. Just hold here for a moment, relax the face, the arms, and we're walking to a downward dog. So take those arms away, spread the fingers. The focus on this first downward dog is the stretch through the back as opposed to the legs. So don't worry about the heels being raised, soften the knees. Think about getting that chest closer to the thighs, reaching the arms away and letting the head be heavy. So we're here just for a few seconds. And we'll start to walk our hands back. We're coming back to standing. So uncurl yourself all the way up through the spine. Let's take a shoulder roll here because it feels nice. We're going once more, breath in. Exhale, chin to chest, articulating through the spine. And down we come. Again, a downward dog. This time we'll focus on stretching the backs of the legs. So thinking about the calves, the hamstrings. If you want to, you can soften one knee at a time just to lift the heels, loosen everything up. And then press the heels down into the ground, still letting the head be heavy. Let's take a breath in here, come onto tiptoes, and exhale, come down, press the heels down, and just transfer yourself now into a plank. I know we love these. They're great because they work everything really, and it's nice to really fire the core up. If you need to change your position, you can come down onto knees, you can come down onto forearms, or even a combination of both. So think about pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Make sure we're not letting the head drop. Don't just be pressing into the wrists here. Use the rest of the hands, the fingers, press them down. Chest lifted, so we're not sinking, but without locking the elbows. Pulling the core in, so tighten up. Imagine you're wearing an invisible corset, it's holding everything in. We're not sinking down here, so give a slight squeeze here as well at the bottom to help, and push into the heels just to engage with the legs. So our wrists are just under our shoulders. We're here for a little bit longer, so adjust if you need to. You can either hold this, or we're going for a right leg lift, so softly point the foot. We're coming up and down, up to 5 times is fine. Breathing through it, keeping that chest lifted, trying to keep the hips stable as well. And get ready to switch over, tuck the toes under, let's switch left leg. So just a small lift up and down, we don't want to disturb the rest of the body too much here. Arms still lengthened, checking all those points. Lots to think about with our plank. And hold it there. Turn to face me, we're coming to a side plank. If you want to, you can drop down onto that lower knee if you need to, or again onto the elbow. Otherwise, legs lengthened, you can stack them together if you wish. I quite like to have them staggered, so there's a bit more balance there, a bit more support. Lifting the underside of the waist here, hips stacked. Make sure there's some space between the shoulder and the ear. And just have a play here, a few hip dips, just to feel what's working. All those muscles there through the core, feeling the underside of the waist. One more, hold it here. Come back to your plank, take a breath, even yourself out. I'm going to have to turn my back to you, I'm afraid now, because we're going the other way. Again, make any adjustments if you need to. If we have any trouble areas in the shoulder, come down, or feel free to do a different move at this point. But we're not here for too much longer. Again, just having a play about here, lowering and lifting, dipping the hips, wide open across the chest. And let's come back to that plank and untuck the toes. Child's pose here, bring the feet together, widen the knees. Take this moment just to catch your breath. Relax the arms, the wrists as well, so roll them out if they're feeling sore. And we'll take this opportunity to stretch as well through the waist there, which we were just working. So come closer to me, just off your mat, and stacking that backhand on top of the other. So if you're now reaching to your left, you've got your right hand on top, and vice versa. So you should feel a nice stretch there running down the side of the body. Forehead down. And walking your way back to center. Let's go over to the other side. So if you're walking to your right now with the hands, you've got your left hand on top. One side may feel tighter than the other. Just holding it there. And coming back. Popping onto all fours now. If you need to adjust at any point, you can always come onto fists, forearms, or even roll up your mat or use a towel just to lessen the angle here. You can have the towel or the mat underneath the wrist, just as so. But we're not here for too long, so don't worry, you can adjust as you need to. So just setting yourself up. Let's go for some cat and cows just to really work through the spine first. Breath in, exhale, scoop the abdomen up. Inhale, we go back the other way, soft arch. We don't need to look all the way to the ceiling, just straight ahead is fine. Exhale. So you're in your kneeling position here. You've got your knees below the hips, wrists below shoulders. And you're really thinking about loosening everything up there through the spine. In particular, pay attention to the thoracic spine, so that area between the shoulder blades. We might be feeling quite stiff there, especially if we've been hunched over a lot lately, if we're sitting down a lot more than normal. Scoop up, tuck the tailbone under, look to the thighs. And then level yourself out, come to a flat back. So check we're not sinking. Again, remember that neutral pelvis, find it again. Your front leg, so if you're mirroring me now, that's going to be your left leg. We're going to extend it, trying to keep the pelvis as it is. Lifting it up, doesn't have to be too high. And we're bringing that leg towards me, tapping the floor very lightly, back to where you just came from, and then passing over your other leg. So big archway, I like to call this my rainbow leg, just because I'm going up and down, painting a rainbow. Still thinking about the upper body here, chest being lifted, pushing the floor away, but without locking the elbows. Now again, this might look different on you as it does on me, that's absolutely fine. Just notice how everything's feeling, where the range of motion is with that leg, and just watch that you're not pushing your weight all the way back onto that supporting knee, so the hip isn't starting to stick out. You can always give yourself a little test and float that opposite hand up just to check your weight is as centered as it can be. And let's go one more. Come back to center, and we're going to flex the foot, try and keep that thigh lifted. We're going to squeeze in, heel become closer to the bottom, and extend, push into the heel, and squeeze, extend, and squeeze. So try not to let the thigh and the knee drop, checking we're still as even as we can be through the body, so we're not completely tipping or tilting. And we'll go one more, hold this one here, small pulses, so as if your foot is flush against the ceiling and we're trying to press it away. So less can often be more in Pilates. This is not a huge move, we're not swinging the leg. Really think about drawing those abdominals up so we're not overly arching into the lower back. And 3, 2, 1, we're almost there, one more move. Extend the leg, softly point, and give me some small circles here. Again, not too big. Still breathing, checking in with our posture, we're nearly there. Smooth circles, 3 and 2. Let's reverse direction, back the other way. Keeping it going, again, just check where our weight is. Almost there, and 3 and 2. And 1, extend that leg, pop it down. Give yourself a quick break if you need it. Don't worry, we're not going straight onto the other side just yet, so we'll give our arms and our wrists a break. We're going to come down onto prone. So, lying yourself forward on your mat. Just take a second to set yourself up. Let's take our legs almost hip width apart and let the heels fall in towards one another, so there's a slight turnout in the legs here. Hopefully that should feel most comfortable for everybody, a natural position. Still be mindful of the pelvis. We want to try and be neutral, so we're not sticking our bottoms up into the air. Give it a little squeeze, draw those lower abdominals in. So thinking about the upper back, Relax your hands, elbows bent, roughly 90-degree angle, hands almost in line with the face is a good guide, but you can adjust slightly as you need to. So nose down to mat, and let's take a breath in, lift up, exhale, lower down. So give the bottom a little squeeze. There shouldn't be any pain in the lower back here. It's a small lift. We want to think about working the mid to upper back. And our eye gaze can just trace the mat, but we're not looking all the way up. So keep that neck long in line with the spine. If this is feeling comfortable, if you're happy here, feel free to float the arms off the floor as well. That way we know we are using those back muscles. We're not getting any assistance from the hands, the arms. However, of course, if you need to keep hands down, feel free to do so. Breathing pattern really is up to you on this. You can inhale on the lift, exhale, lower. If the opposite feels more natural for you, that's fine, so long as you're breathing. Let's hold this next one up if it feels okay to do so. Extend the arms, so almost like a Y position. So if I was looking at you from bird's eye view, you'd be reaching out to the corners, past the corners of your mat, and then draw the elbows back in towards the waist. Let's go once more. So similar to that move that we did in the warm-up, where we were bending and drawing the elbows in. Take a moment to ease off here, lower down. Let's go again. And lift. So keep the upper body stable, extend. Bring the shoulder blades down into the back, elbows to the waist. Let's go 2 more this time. And pulling back. We'll go 1 more. And pull back. Relax it down. We're going again this time, see if we can stay up a little longer. We'll go for 4 reaches if we can. Of course, if you need to rest in between at any point, that's okay. So thinking length through the back rather than height. Giving that bottom a little squeeze. Again, no pain at all in the lower back here. Hold this next one here if you can. 3, 2, come down. Take a moment. We're just going once more. Breath in. Exhale. Reach the arms in front. Open them all the way. Big T position. Rotate through the arms to pull them back behind you. Staying lengthened through the body. See if you can lift those arms a little higher. Some small presses here, so starting to work deeper into the triceps. Check the arms don't come too wide. Try to keep them just parallel. In line with the shoulders is fine. Check the body itself isn't bobbing up and down. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it down. We're keeping the upper body down now, so we can just ease off here. If you've got a cushion that you'd rather lie your forehead on, then do so. Otherwise, hands will just do a fine job. You can stack them there. Okay, so legs are still turned out. If you need to take them a little wider here, you can. Still neutral pelvis as much as possible. And we will start with just 1 leg lifting at a time. Try to keep the legs straight, so we're not just bending at the knee here. So lift and lengthen. Again, think about reaching away, the length of the leg, as opposed to the height of the leg. Upper body is completely relaxed here. Relax those shoulders. Check the pelvis isn't tipping side to side. You don't feel like you're digging one side in and then the other. Want to think about the work coming from the glute here predominantly, if you can. If this feels okay and you want to step it up, then we can lift both legs at the same time. Go at your own speed. There's no rush here. Control the move. And lift, lengthen. Don't worry if it's a tiny lift. If it feels like the legs are barely moving, you're still going to be switching on all those muscles. Next option is to lift the legs, draw them together, so beat the heels together, open them back out, and then pop them down. Again, so we'll lift, squeeze inner thighs together, heels, open, and down. Again, adjust if you need to at any point, if this doesn't feel good for you. If you'd rather stick to single legs, squeeze, keeping that upper body relaxed, and squeeze. With this next one, if we can, we're going to hold it here and just beat the heels together. Make sure we're still breathing. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, last time, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. Relax the legs down, push yourselves back. Do give yourself a stretch here, nice big child's pose. Relax the forehead, ease through the back. We might be feeling that a little bit now, more in the lower back, because we did all that leg work. Do take a stretch here, move anything that needs to be moved. Taking a breath, and we're just going to do a small threading of the needle, so the arm that's furthest away from me, reach it underneath the gap to turn to face me, slide the back of the hand against the floor. Nice big twist here through the torso. And we'll go one in the other direction, so reach the arm away and reaching underneath the gap. Just holding here. And coming back through, walk the hands towards you, uncurl your way through the spine. Let's take a roll. Guess what? We've got that other leg to go. So back on all fours. Sooner we start, sooner we finish. Let's do this. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Check we're not arching here. Zip up. So other leg. Back leg now. Make sure you're not doing the same leg twice. Lift and lengthen. Rainbow legs. So out and away. Back to center, crossing past the bent knee. So up and over, long, long leg. The body's going to want to move a lot here, so we'll try our best to keep it as still as possible. Again, check where your weight is through the hands, and that we're constantly drawing those lower abdominals up so that we're not sinking too deeply into the lower back here. This leg may feel different to the other one. There might be different range of motion, there could be tightness. It might feel a lot easier, a lot looser. And let's just go one more. And then we're coming back to center. Flex the foot, keep that thigh lifted. We're bending, squeeze, heel towards the bottom and extend. And squeeze, extend and squeeze. Checking we're not dropping here through the chest. Pushing the floor away. Let's go last couple. Holding the next one here, and we pulse the leg up. So foot pushing up towards the ceiling or towards the nice blue sky if you're outside at the moment. And pulse, pulse, 4, 3, 2, we're almost there. Point the foot again, keep that leg lifted. Small circles here. Try not to belly dance with the rest of the body if we can help it. So lots of control. And 3, 2, 1. Let's reverse, you're nearly there. Long, long legs, smooth circles. And 4, 3, 2. Come down here, child's pose once more, just to take a breath. And walk your hands towards you, uncurl your way up. And we're coming to seated for our next move. Okay, so coming to seated, we're coming to a spine twist. There's different variations for your legs for this one today. Let's go legs almost mat width. Obviously, if that doesn't feel comfortable, adjust it. You can relax the knees if you need to. Nice big open butterfly, whatever feels good for you, but I'm going to go mat width. So we want to sit tall. If you need to be on a cushion, then that's fine, you can do that. Whatever you need to do to really feel like you're sitting as tall as you can, as if you're up against a wall. So shoulders roll back and down, both those seat bones planted firmly down, and some flexion through the feet if they are extended here, if you've not got them bent, just to add to that stretch. Reaching the arms away, let's turn our palms back. Breath in, exhale, turn towards me, twist and pulse. Back to center, other way, twist and pulse. So throughout here, we want to stay sitting up completely tall so we don't sink back. Imagine there's a rod all the way through our body, coming out the top of our head, attached to the ceiling, and it's not letting us deviate. We're not falling backwards or forwards. Arms are staying equal distance apart, so they're not moving in or out. And lifting up and away, and keep that weight stable through the seat bones. So I'm not rocking, I'm not tilting or tipping one way or the other. And we'll just go once more for each side. Last side. And coming up, relax the arms down, give the legs a shake. Whilst we're here, let's pop them together and take a stretch. Breath in, reach up. Exhale, up and over. Grab the feet if you want to. If you can't, that's fine. We can rest on the shins or the thighs. This is just a stretch, so do what you need to do. And relax it down. Let's roll our way back up. Soften the knees here, hip distance apart. Relax the feet down onto your mat. Sitting tall once more just to start us off. You can hook to the back of the thighs at any point if you need extra assistance. Otherwise, arms reaching forward, shoulders back and down, chin tucked. Inhale. Exhale, we're just rolling about halfway back is fine. We're not lying down yet. Imagine I'm prodding you in the belly button, so we've got a soft C curve happening now through the back. Hold for a moment. So here's where that bracing comes in. Feel that tension around the core. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that C curve. Reach forward, up and over the legs, but without collapsing. So drawing in. And again, breath in, we go back. So we're just going to hold back for a second. And up and over. So we're not straightening our back here just yet. We're just going to keep that nice C curve, keeping the arms, the shoulders, the neck and the jaw relaxed. Be aware that we're not carrying any tension up into the face. Good. Hold for a second. This time we are going to lift the arms up and straighten ourselves out. So sit tall once more. Breath in. Exhale. So coming back. Hold just for a moment. And then we're coming up again, reaching up. So lift up and away. Don't need to take the arms too far back. So make sure we're not pushing the ribs forward. Just bringing them by the sides of the ears is fine. So getting that length through the body. Lift. Inhale, exhale. Hold this next one here if you can. And we're going to lift just that front arm up. That's where the shakes come in. And down, back arm, lift. Either stick to single arms or this time we'll do both. And once more, both arms. And coming all the way up again, lift up, lengthen. We're doing that again, breath in, exhale. Hold there. So one arm first. You can switch up which arm you do first if you want to. You don't always have to lead with the same arm. And then both together, only if that feels okay. If you want to stick to single arms, that's fine. And coming up, if you're happy here, stick with that. If you want to have a go with straight legs, glue them together, flex the feet, just feel the difference. Inhale, back we go. Again, if this doesn't suit you, return back to those bent knees. And down, and single. We've got two with the doubles, so lift. Hopefully you're feeling this now. And we get to go once more, so all the way up, lift, lengthen, sit tall. Exhale. So again, tightening your core, sit using all of those core muscles. This is your last time, so let's go for those two singles. And here's the doubles. Once more. And coming all the way up, let's just take a butterfly stretch here. Bring the feet together, relax the knees out, let the body be heavy. Again, move any way that you need to, if there's any tension that's built up there. And coming up. Okay, before we pop down all the way, let's just do a quick one for the triceps, the arms. You can come back to bent knees or straight legs, whatever feels good for you right now. Wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing towards the body, so not too wide or too far back. Lift the chest so we're nice and open. You can relax the rest of the body now. We want our arms to do the work for us here. All we're going to be doing is bending into the arms and straightening, but without locking the elbows. So elbows are bending away from you, keeping the chest lifted, and all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. Just notice if we feel like one arm's doing more work than the other. Are you leaning to one side? Are you pressing deeper into one hand? Again, we're not here for too long, but just a nice one to really fire up those upper arms. And let's go two more. hold the next one there if you can, small pulses. So we're pulsing it out. Make sure again it's the arms doing the work, not the body. Now we should be feeling something, hopefully, a bit of warmth there in the upper arms. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up, give them a little shake off if they need it. We will stretch them out properly during the cool down. And let's roll ourselves all the way back. Again, either bent or straight legs, whichever you prefer. Inhale, exhale. So like we were doing before, gentle C curve, but we're going all the way back this time. So down we go, reach the arms up and away. And let's take a moment here just to stretch if we need to, relax the body. If you need to adjust where you are on your mat, then please do. Bend the knees, hip width apart, knees and feet. Make sure the feet are not too far away from you, tuck them in. And just take a moment in this position to return to those pelvic tilts we did in the warm-up. Might feel different now that we're lying down. We can press our lower back against the mat and then tilt back the other way. So exhale, press the lower back, tuck the tailbone under, inhale. So just loosening up, lower back, and finding your neutral once more. Hip bones pointing up. So when we return to neutral in this position, just be aware of where it is, know how it feels. Okay, so just open the arms. Let's have the palms up so we're not bearing down too much on the floor here. We're coming up into our bridges. So toes are spread, feet planted, inhale. Exhale, like we were just doing, push the lower spine down. Follow the move through to lift up and up. So nice stretch here for the thighs, across the hips, the front of the body. Should feel nice after that work we've just been doing there when we were seated. Again, check that we're even through the body, not pushing to one foot harder than the other. We're not tilted. Upper body completely relaxed, and we're switching on the glutes here. Let's work our way back down, roll through the spine, nice and carefully. Going again, inhale, exhale. So tuck enough, lift and lengthen. Watch the knees are not drifting in or out. We're still parallel, and roll it back down. We'll go 2 more exactly the same. So just in your own time, if you want to go a little bit faster or slower than me, that's okay. And down, rolling through the spine. We're holding this next one up longer. I'm going to give you 3 options, your front leg. Option 1, if you want more support, you're just doing heel raises, trying to keep level. Option 2, bent knee, toe into tabletop, above the hip, simply tap the toe down and up. Option 3, straight leg, flex foot, pointed. So choose your option. If you want to have a go at all 3, that's fine. And find which one works best for you. So front leg, here we go. Either option 1, 2, or 3. Whichever option you're doing, the aim here is to keep this upper body still, keep that nice long center line, and keep the pelvis as still as we can. Leg stays in line with the hip. We can have some support here from the upper arms as well, so there is some weight there. Last one, coming up. Try to stay up in your bridge if you can before we switch over to the next leg. Readdress the balance if you need to. Again, option 1, 2, or 3, you choose. Flex, push down. That leg's not going to hit the floor. Don't take it too low, otherwise you're going to be dropping in that side of the hip. Again, one side is likely to feel different to the other. Make sure we're still breathing. We relax through the face. And let's pop that leg back in and roll your way down. Hug the knees into the chest here. Again, a good time just to take a little stretch. So pull your leg that's closest to me. Take both hands onto the shin, pull it towards you. Reach that other leg down and away. Keeping the body long so we're not twisting over to this leg. Don't shorten that side of the waist. And just hug it there. And now just start to circle it around. So loosen up the hip. One way and then the other. And then using same arm as leg, just to open up, turn that leg out a little. You can use your free hand to rest it on the opposite hip so that it doesn't pop up and away. So keeping it all level here. So just a bit of turn out. Switch hands, so use your opposite hand now to fold that leg away from me, whilst reaching, hand that's nearest, reach it out towards me. And you can turn the head as well to get this full stretch through the body. Try and keep the shoulders down so we're not poking up here. You can add a bit of force onto that leg if you want to, enhance the stretch. And come back to center, let's switch over. So your back leg now, lift it up, slide this front leg down and away. Pull the knee towards you, still staying long through the body. And then let's loosen up through the hip here. So nice, easy, free circles. And back the other way. And keeping a hold of that leg, let's turn it out. You can use your free hand to keep this hip stable. Just holding there, checking we don't feel like we're twisting through the upper body. And switch over. Fold the knee over your straight leg. Reach your free hand away. Look towards that hand to continue the stretch. Holding just for a few seconds. And come back. Good. Shake it off if you need to. Plant those feet down once more, hip width apart again. Heels don't need to be as close this time. But find that neutral pelvis once more. So hip bones up to the ceiling. Reach the arms away from you. Careful we don't now poke the ribs up. So we don't have to hit the floor. You can keep them floating off the ground if you want to. Inhale, start to lift up. Exhale, follow the move through. Just looking towards your knees, lifting head, upper spine away from the mat. And down we go. Again, breath in, exhale. So reaching away. There's some distance here between the chin and the chest, so make sure we're not pushing down like this, nor are we back here. So protect the neck. And again. So this is where we're really thinking about that exhale, thinking about tightening that corset area up. So try not to be bulging the stomach up. Think about flattening it out, using all those muscles that wrap around. Legs are relaxed and down. Again, so just working at your own speed here. And down. I'm going to give you another option. If you're happy here, stick with this. Option 2, you can take your legs into tabletop. So that's knee just above the hip. Brace yourself as you bring your second one up as well. Again, if this feels like the back's arching away at any point, keep the feet down. Inhale, exhale. And down. So have a play, see what works for you. If you're not happy with legs in the air, pop them back down again. Or you could always just take one leg up, test the waters there, and pop it back down, and then alternate. So again, there's always loads of options you can play about with in Pilates. I'd like you to stay up for the next one. Now we're all in tabletop, so make sure your legs are in the air. Flex the feet, extend one leg away and return. So push into the heel, alternate the legs. We've got a good view here of that body, of the pelvis. We want to keep it nice and level. Arms are reaching. Make sure we're still breathing. And let's start to take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. So we're taking some of the weight of the head here. Shouldn't be any strain, hopefully. Keep the elbows nice and wide, chest open. And a bit more oblique work now. We're adding a twist. So with the leg that's extended, you're going to turn towards the bent knee, release the opposite arm, and imagine you're trying to reach to the inside there of the foot and switch. So just inside the ankle and center, push away. And center, push away. Now, if you do feel at any point like that lower back's arching away, wanting to release, you've got a couple of options here. This leg that extended, it can come up higher. So it doesn't have to go so low down. Play about there with the height of the leg. Higher leg means a little bit less of an overload on the lower back. Alternatively, if you need to rest the head down, you can be doing this move straight leg still. Arms can be down. You can even prop hands under hips should you need to. Keep it going. Last few coming up. We should be feeling the work here through the torso. Don't worry, we'll get to recover in a second. We're going to go back to some more glute work. You'll be glad to hear. And let's go 2 more, once more each side. Last one. And hug it in. Take a stretch here. Shake out if you need to, and roll over onto your side. Okay, glute work coming up. So rest yourself just towards the back of your mat. If you want to be on a pillow, that's fine. Otherwise, on your arm will work as well. And we're going to pick the knees, the feet, the shins up and line them up towards the front of your mat. So we've got a deep 90-degree angle here. I'm going to pop down onto my mat and make sure you can see me okay. So knees are coming straight out in front of the hips. Stack the hips up one on top of the other so we're not falling backwards or forwards. Still lifting, still having that feeling of being centered. So lift the underside of the waist to check we're not rolling back or forth. Fingertips can just lightly rest here. We're just going to be lifting that top leg so it doesn't have to go too high, and squeeze back down. So lift and lower without pushing the top hip back. So again, that's why it doesn't need to go too high. We don't want to fall back here. So nice and controlled. You can exhale on the lift, inhale on the lower. If you want a breathing pattern, again, or just do what feels natural for you. So relax through the upper body and down. So each time lining up the feet, the knees, to that leg. Imagine there's a spirit level on the lower portion of the leg there. So the knee and the foot ideally want to be on that same horizontal line. So starting to warm up here through the glutes. Should be feeling something now. Last one here, we're going to switch it up. Just pick up the knee and close. It feels very much like a clam. And then the other way, foot and close. So we're getting that internal and external rotation there at the top of the leg. Again, still keeping the hips stacked. And then the foot. So we get a chance to relax the rest of the body here. But don't just let it all go. And lift. And open. We'll go one more. Knee. And foot. Lifting that leg once more, flex the foot here, keep the thigh where it is, so it's roughly in line with the hip. Extend, so show me sole of your foot. Apologies, mine's probably quite dirty now. And then bend back to that 90-degree angle. So sole of your foot to me and back. So we should feel that stretch there, feel the work happening now. Extend and back. And return. Keeping it going. Although I'm no good at counting in Pilates, so my apologies if we end up doing more on one side than the other. I'll let you worry about that. Anyone who comes to my sessions knows that. Can't count and talk and move at the same time, I'm sorry. Keep the leg extended here, relax the foot. We're going to lift it and lower it. Ooh, yeah, now we're feeling it. Still staying stable through the hips, try not to roll the body back. So again, it doesn't have to be a huge movement. Less is more. And down. And lift. So straight line up and down. Make sure we're still breathing. Let's go last couple. And just hovering off the floor, pulses to finish. So the leg's not too high, just hovering above hip height. And pulse, pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease it off. We might be feeling that now. Give it a little bash if you need to. Straighten out the legs. Bring them slightly forward of the body, so feet are pointing towards that front corner of your mat. Brace yourself. We've got some more abdominal work, obliques. And take a breath in, prepare. On the exhale, keep the legs glued together, float them off the ground. Inhale, lower. So just lifting and lowering both legs here. If it feels too heavy, too much lifting both legs, you can keep that bottom leg rested, just lift the top leg. But we're really working again into our torso here, and that upper side of the waist, you'll feel it. So trying to keep the hips stacked. If you want to let go of the floor for more of a challenge, you can rest hand on waist or reach it up, whatever feels best for you. Keeping the legs together. Again, they're not going to be too high. We're almost there. Let's go last couple. Hold this next one up, flex the feet, push into the heels, and point. Oh, my nice clicky toes. Flex, and point, and flex. Point, soft point here. We're just going to open and close the legs. This is going to be a small move, like scissors. Open and close, try not to hit the floor. Last couple, and one. Hold it there, flex, and lower down. Good, get ready to pop over to the other side. So swivel yourself around. When you're ready, move straight into that deep 90-degree angle here. So rest the torso down, head along the arm, knees straight out in front of the hips, line up the shins, the feet, lifting the underside of the waist, hips stacked. As soon as you're ready, just that top leg. So again, spirit level here, so that the knee and the foot are the same height. The leg itself doesn't need to go too high. Stay in control. Good. So at your own speed, if you want to slow this down, and we can. If you want to go a little bit faster, that's okay. Just don't lose control of the move. And let's go last couple here. And get ready now. We're going to open a bit like a clam, so just the knee lifts, squeeze, close, and then the foot. And close, and lift, and foot. So internal, external rotation at the very top of the leg. Try to keep those knees in line with one another every time. Nearly there, last couple coming up. And lifting the whole of the leg once more, roughly in line with hip, flex the foot, keep the thigh where it is, show me the sole of your foot, and bend back to that 90-degree angle. Push into the heel, stretch the back of the leg, and in, and push, and in. This is where we start to feel it. And in. Rest of the body stable, chest is open. We can smile as well, pretend that we're really enjoying it. This doesn't hurt at all. Keeping the leg extended for the next one, softly point the foot, we're lifting and lowering. Ooh, that's where we really start to feel it. Straight line up and down. I always like to do quite a lot of glute work in my sessions, because it's often a weak area for many people. And especially lately, you've not been able to go to the gym, so your fitness routine might be all out of whack. You might have been sitting down a lot more than usual. And let's go last. One coming up, pulses to finish. We're nearly there. Small pulses, lift, lift, keep it going. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Stretch that leg off, ease it out, get a bash if you need to. Straight legs. So pop the feet just towards that front corner of your mat. We're still stacked up here. Breath in, prepare, exhale, legs up. Inhale, lower down, and lift, and lower, and lift. Remember, if you need to change where the legs are slightly, that's fine, slightly further forward or back. Everyone finds their own sort of sweet spot for this. If there's any pressure on that lower hip, you could use a towel if you need to, for a bit of extra padding. Again, feel free to challenge your balance a little bit more, just to let go of the floor if we want to. And let's go a couple more. Hold the feet up for this next one. Flex, push into the heels, and point. Work through the ankles, the toes. Flex, and point. Once more, flex, point. Little scissors here, open and close. If you need to lower this top arm, please do. If you want more balance, if you find that you're wobbling a bit too much. And let's go 2, and 1. Flex, come down. Well done. And just roll onto your back now. Let's stretch out those glutes. Figure 4 stretches when you're ready. Still keeping pelvis neutral. Let's pop the right ankle onto the left thigh. You can either hold this here if that feels good, or you can lift the left thigh closer to you, deepen that stretch on the right side. If you need to, you can pop the hands behind the thigh to pull it closer still. Just be careful we're not curling ourselves up into a ball. Keep the upper body relaxed. And when you're ready, let's switch it over. Left ankle, right thigh. Bringing that right thigh closer still. Deepen the stretch on this side. Good. Okay, and just shake off the legs if you need to here. We'll just stay here for a moment for a bit of a spot of relaxation. Not as long as I'd normally spend in a session, but just going to lie ourselves down and take a brief scan through the body. So work your way all the way from toes, feet, ankles, all the way up. And just notice if you're holding on to any tension anywhere or any tightness, if there's any aches, any pains. And take some slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let go of that tightness. If you need to move at all, then feel free to do so. If you want to continue to stretch or move in any way that feels good for you. We don't need to be squeezing or holding anything in now though. Let that all go. Just let the body be heavy. Breathing deeply all the way down into the stomach, so deep breaths. And soft exhale. Check that the face feels soft, the jaw. No tightness in the forehead. Toes and fingers, you can give them a wiggle, get the blood flowing. And just taking a moment here. And when you're ready, give the legs a shake. Start to draw the knees in towards you and just holding on below the knees to the shins with the hands. Making 2 circles, bringing the legs together, open out and away, loosening up the hips. And then back the other way. Hold it there. Do the same for the feet and the ankles. So make this move as big as possible. Pushing against the toes. And change direction. Give the legs a shake. Carefully come up. You can either roll up or just turn onto the side and push up. Come to a comfortable seated position here. If you want to be kneeling or standing, that's fine, or sitting on a cushion. Just take a moment, we'll give the arms a stretch. Taking your right arm across the body, so stretching through the shoulders here. We did all those planks at the start. Use your free arm just to pull back a little further, keep the shoulder down, and you can look away as well, just to deepen the stretch. And switch left arm across the chest, and just taking it back and looking away from the hands. Coming down, deep breath in, reach up and over, exhale. So nice, big side bend. Come back up to center. We'll go one the other way, breath in, exhale. And coming up, both arms reach up. This time as we breathe out, nice big twist, push the arms down and away, looking towards the back of the room, stay sitting tall. Again, inhale, lift, exhale, rotate, turning back. And coming up, roll into the wrist, stretch the fingers, the hands. And just taking a gentle stretch for inner thighs here. Come back to that butterfly, feet, soles of the feet together, push the heels closer to you, open the knees out, sit tall. If you do want a deeper stretch, You can bring the body forward slightly, but try not to hunch over. You can always use your elbows as well to push down if you want to. And if we're comfortable to cross legs, please do. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale, reach the arms forward and just let the body be heavy. Walking the hands back towards you, recross the legs, other one on top. This might feel a bit strange. And repeat. Inhale, walk the hands forward, exhale. And coming up, if you're happy to stay like this, then keep the legs here. If you need to move them, then do. Rolling the shoulders up and back. And just checking that everything feels good. Feels loose, the neck, the face. Come back to center, breathe in through the nose, lift the shoulders up. Let the breath go. And one more breath in. Let it go. And just staying here for as long as you need to. If you want to lie back down, do some meditation, put a song on, enjoy it. Otherwise, thank you very much. We have finished our Pilates session for the day. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, a bit stretched, a little bit challenged, and that you've enjoyed it. So thank you for being with me. I hope to see you here in the studio soon. If not, until next time, goodbye.